Hello, my name is Martyr, and this is Let's Play VoidExpanse, and thank you for watching. VoidExpanse is a open-world sci-fi RPG, guys. If you need a quick comparison, think FTL meets Mount and Blade. You basically kind of start off as a free agent in a randomly procedurally generated galaxy, and then you can pretty much do whatever you wish. You want to kill pirates? Go kill pirates. You want to go mine asteroids? You can do that. You want to join a faction and conquer the galaxy? You can do that. You can do quests, just about whatever you want in this game. Now, it is on Steam, but it hasn't released yet, and that's because the developer wants to do some finishing touches, make sure that it is ready for Steam when it does finally release. So technically, the game is still in active development, guys, and everything you see is subject to change and not a final representation of the game. Although, I don't suspect that there's going to be too many changes all that much, guys. VoidExpanse was developed and published by AtomicTorch Studios. You can go ahead and get VoidExpanse on their website for $14.99. I also imagine that will probably be the Steam price when it does finally release, guys. Probably maybe a little bit cheaper due to the first week's sale. I'm not sure though. Now this game really reminds me kind of like a Star Sonata, a game that we checked out here on the channel, except it's not a massive multiplayer game. You kind of have all that ship customization, all those different kinds of vessels, and those, those different kinds of class of vessels, like from, light frigate to heavy frigate to capital cruisers and all that good kind of stuff. They have all that kind of customization of the ships and all that good kind of stuff. And definitely a very vast galaxy for you to explore. And it has a lot of good things going for it. It just needs a little bit more bells and whistles is what I'm going to say. Which will eventually be added from what I understand. Let's just kind of show this right off the bat. They have a lot of features that are coming up here, guys. Now, most of this isn't going to make any sense yet because you haven't seen the actual game yet, but this is just for me to get this out of the way. It's a very large game. It's a very expansive game, pun intended. So if there's something I miss, if there's something I don't touch upon, don't kill me, don't sue me. It's a big game. We're going to start off with the options, of course, and the options are very nice. There's a lot of them, to be honest with you. Lots of video options, lots of graphics manipulations, lots of sound sliders. You can also have rebindable keys. The options are very, very sweet, very nice. The game does go up to 1080p. It doesn't feature controller support, but to be honest with you, it's not that type of game anyways. And the game does feature a whole schmack roll of steamy goodness. Steam cards, Steam achievements, all that good kind of stuff, guys. Also features multiplayer. You can actually log into other servers here that players have hosted publicly and join them together. I'm not really going to be able to show this off too much because, well, for one thing, as you can see, there's nobody on. And that's because not many people have gotten their hands on the game yet. It's not because the game's abandoned or anything like that. It's just there isn't that many people who have their hands on this game quite yet. Hopefully that will change once it is released on Steam, though. So we're going to be showing off the single-player experience for the most part. I'm actually going to be loading into a game that I've been playing for, it looks like about 3 hours now. I'm pretty shocked by that. We're going to load into that. You can have multiple galaxies. We're going to be talking about all that. I kind of just want to show off the core gameplay stuff first, and then we'll start talking about all that other stuff really quickly here. Loading! Autopilot, yes. Autopilot is amazing. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about all the good features in this game. Really quick here, as fast as possible. Now, this right here, I've loaded up into a town, a station, if you will. And there's, of course, a whole crap ton of stuff you can do here. All the way from talking to NPCs and people who just randomly show up. Like, hey, it's merchant. Hey, do you have anything worth talking about? And you can get presented a whole bunch of subjects to speak of. I will say that the game's lore and story is pretty deep. But I have found that certain people kind of repeat things eventually. Like this guy, we'll talk to him about Xanator Stage. Aha, you want to salvage what's left of the Federation settlements? You're brave. Let's see. Let's see. Does this guy say the same thing? Ah, you want to salvage what's left of the Federation settlements? You're brave. You get there's a lot to read, but once you read it all, they kind of repeat themselves. It's a little funny. It's kind of a little silly. Oh yeah, there's people all do different things. Like you can go up to the station commander and ask for a quest. You can ask for a job. He may give it to you. You can talk to him about a whole bunch of different kinds of subjects. I've read this all. Like I said, the lore is there. It's a pretty cool universe. There's something to bite into there, and I imagine the story does develop as you start getting deeper with the factions and all that good kind of stuff. But yeah, you can talk to all these different people, get a lot of information, do quests. You can also see that they have a faction right there. These guys are part of the Freedom faction. We'll talk about that in a little bit. As you can see, this is the shop, and oh boy, is it color-coded. So, let's talk about what you're looking at here. First and foremost, you can buy, of course, different types of ship, because that's how you kind of progress in this game, is getting a big BBD, bigger, better deal, as it were. You can basically upgrade your ship for the in-game currency, which I have no idea what it's called. It's called D. I don't know if that's Daenerys. I have no idea what the hell that stands for. I'm sure it was some point in time told to me. I probably just forgot it. I apologize. But you can buy basically bigger and better ships, and there's a whole lot of information that's going to be presented to you when you start looking at these things, like the types of weapons it can hold, its speed, how much cargo capacity does it have, max speed, all that good stuff. There's a lot of fine details here when it comes to ships. And I mean that quite a bit. This is actually my ship right here. This is the one I'm currently using. Which is mostly, I use it just to blast lasers, and that's kind of what that's the strategy I've picked up. But you can see there's just a lot of fine detail and tuning here that you can kind of do to your ship. You can't necessarily design your own ship, but you can definitely customize the crap out of your ship. All the way from your hull to your generator, your shields, your engines, whatever the hell that is. Radar, grappler, which basically allows you to kind of like a tractor beam. Your fuel tank, your consumables, your devices, which are kind of like active abilities that you can use. Right now all I have is a standard mining device, but I've seen electromagnetic pulses. There's actually a couple maybe we can look at here in the shop. Now they just have mining devices, but I've seen like others are like EMPs and all sorts of crazy crap. So there is quite a bit, like I said, of ship customization here. That is a really cool part of the game. And that pretty much continues all the way from the start of the game all the way to the end of the game. Now, if for some reason you like screw up or you're not happy with your ship, you can always start out ground zero, buy the basic civilian engines, the basic civilian parts, all for $0. You can just buy it if you wanted to. Or if you lose your ship, I don't think you can lose your ship. I think you can blow yourself up and they basically give you back your ship and you lose whatever you had in your inventory at the time. I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, there's weapons, equipment, which is what kind of alters the stats of your ship, all the way from, from your speed to how much your shields generate, all that good kind of information. It's all right there and available to you. And there's, of course, a multitude of upgrades that you can range and get from that sometimes depend on your technology rating. So, actually, I probably should explain what the technology rating is. As you can see, there's a little cog right there. It says by the default price, and that cog is 20. Well, that basically represents the highest technological level this ship can kind of maintain. Anything beyond a tech level of 20, this ship will not be able to use. You're going to need a bigger, better ship. And that basically is across all items. So for instance, this one has a technological level of 25. I would not be able to equip this item on my ship. But this one I could, the 5. This one I could, the 15. 1, 15. You get the basic idea. Each of them basically has their own technological grade. And that kind of lets you know how you're progressing. There's devices like I already talked about. There's boosters, which are just kind of like equipable items that just give you random benefits. Sometimes they give you negatives. It really all depends on the booster that you buy. There's consumables, which basically can help you repair your shields. That can help you repair your hull. And of course, there's a lot of different kinds of trading in this game. You can find out trade routes and do all that good kind of stuff. And that kind of covers stations for the most part. Now there is a skill tree, of course, massively expansive skill tree to be exact. There's 4 different trees here, from piloting to combat to engineering to social, which as you can see I've invested quite a bit into. I already actually have the Persuade. By the way, that is my amazing character. He's watched way too much Magnum PI and decided that he wants to become Burt Reynolds. Was it Burt Reynolds? No, it was not Burt Reynolds. Excuse me. It was not Burt Reynolds. I take that back. What was that guy's name? That's going to haunt me. It's from the guy from 3 Men and a Baby. But anyways, you get the idea. He's watched too much Magnum PI, and he thinks he's a badass now in space. But underneath all that, it does show you your experience bar, your level, and all the stats and skills that you've kind of combined all together from all these skill trees, from piloting to combat to all that good stuff. It's just going to display that information there. As you can see, I really developed anything much in the engineering class. This is your journal, which shows you quests. This is the star sector that you're currently in. This is the overall galaxy, which has been procedurally generated every time you start a new world. And these are the 6 factions, or I should say 5 factions, because neutral doesn't really represent a faction. You can join 3 of these factions, and then the other 2 are kind of just dicks who you fight in the game. It also, of course, tells you what your position is towards that faction. So as you can see, these 3 factions hate me, and these 3 factions love me. And it'll show you what this faction, oh, this faction's cool with these guys, and me, and these guys. You get the basic idea. No one apparently likes the fanatics. So we're going to finally undock here. We're going to actually go into the game here. Like I said, guys, it's a very deeply complex game. There's lots of facets to it, but once you get into it, it really becomes very simplistic. Let's talk about the graphics. First off and foremost, the graphics are pretty good, actually. It really looks intense. I enjoy the graphics. Like I said, it reminds me of Star Sonata. They have really a good detail to space. It looks pretty, and the star sectors do change as you move through them all. The background does change anyways. There's also lighting effects, like if I start moving towards the star in the center of the sector here, we'll just start doing that. You'll see the lighting effects start changing. By those three little lines on my ship represent my firing range, which we'll probably get to see in action right now because I'm flying right towards pirates, which is fine by me because that'll give me a chance. Hey, ho, ho, lowly! Hey, hey, hey! You punk! You made me drop my shields, man. Not cool. So enemies have random chance to drop loot or cargo, whatever you can get from them. And that was just a quick example of what the combat was like. You can see I just kind of fired my lasers at him. And it's kind of like just raked it across his shields until his shields went down. And then I had to physically target his hull until he basically went down. Which, the combat is very quick and decisive in this game. It's not really... It's not going to last long. It's not like you're playing chess here. It's very quick. As you can see, we're getting near the sun there. If I were to fly into that, I would die, by the way. So we're not going to do that. I'm being pulled into it, so I'm going to fly away. We're going to hit cruise control here, head back to the station, and talk to you about what you're looking at here overall. On the top left, basically, are all those menus that we basically accessed earlier. They're right there for you to access. Now, you can't really... Oh, are you serious? You're attacking me at a station, buddy. You're stupid. You did, son. You did. That's what you get. What are these? Suicide? Like, screw him. He's doing a video. Attack him. Anyways, as I was saying, all these things on the top left up here are basically what I showed you a little bit earlier. On the bottom left is my shields, my hull, and my overall energy output. Because basically your ship has a generator. And as you're using weapons, it's basically providing power to those weapons, like those lasers. As you can see on the bottom right there, they're slowly being drained. So my generator is trying to keep up and trying to keep those weapons powered at all times. And eventually, if I just keep holding it down, it's going to get drained, and that'll affect my generator, and that can affect my shields. It can affect a whole lot of different things. I'd say I could fire for a long-ass time. But yeah, basically, your generator is powering your weapons, it's powering your shields. Below that, that green bar, by the way, is, of course, your hull. To the right of that, that little purple thing, that is your fuel. And then this little green bar right there, that's how fast you're going. Is kind of like your speedometer, as it were. On the bottom of the screen is your kind of like your power tray. It shows you the consumables that you can use and the extra devices that you have aboard your vessel. On the top right, we have the radar screen, which basically shows you what's nearby. Green is good, red is bad. Really simplistic stuff here, guys. On the map screen, you can see these little orange dots. Those are asteroids. Red dots are bad guys. And that kind of gives you a basic idea of what you can accomplish here, what you're looking at here, I should say. Now, we're in the middle of a mission right now. We're kind of exploring. We got a mission to... I'm trying to join one of the factions, basically. And he's basically detected these stealth satellites, and he wants me to destroy them because he's getting his radio transmission blocked. I don't know. He's not getting basic cable. I have no idea. Die! Now, the combat, I will say, like I said, it's very fast-paced. But it is very sometimes difficult to aim in combat. Are you serious? Are you attacking me? You will suffer a million deaths. Like you see, there's lots of spinning involved in combat. Combat can be very difficult sometimes. You just kind of, it's hard to aim, basically. It's just because your guns swivel, or sometimes they have a fixed position, so the position of your ship is a very important thing when you're entering a combat situation. It's not necessarily my favorite aspect, to be honest with you. The combat's okay. it needs a little bit of fine-tuning in my opinion. It's really, really freaking hard to aim, and most of the time I kind of find myself just ramming the enemy and then blasting them point-blank range, because keeping them in a distance is just a horrible idea, because I can't really do a very efficient job of aiming. It's possible I just suck at the game too. That's very possible. So right now we're on our way to, like I said, to one of those stealth satellites, which is represented by the little yellow box around it. That lets you know that you're heading towards a quest objective, which is right there. We're going to fly up to it slowly, and then we're going to hit the brakes by hitting the space button. By the way, as far as the controls goes, it's WASD to basically fly around. You also have little strafing buttons here that you can hit for a little bit more fine-tuning of flight. You can also hit the space bar to bring yourself to a dead stop. You can hit C to activate cruise control mode. Is someone coming up behind me? You know what? I'm going to go over here and destroy this bastard. Who the hell does he think he is? Launch into his... Just die. Die. Alright. Fantastic. So now I was like, oh, there's some stuff there. Alright, let's tractor beam that. Tractor beam that, Captain. Tractor beam it. Bring it in. What is it? It's just some more crap, Captain. Alright, we'll take it then. Alright, so we found that basically this little beam. Again, this is all part of a quest right now that we're doing. This basically is to just help me join a faction, basically. So we're going to activate that. That's going to bring an enemy to me. This is the main enemy of the... Wow. That was the main enemy of the game right there. That's the Zagnahorn or Xenahorn. I don't know how to pronounce their names. They're called the Zegnatarn. There we go. Zingatarn. Those are the bad guys in the game. Those are the dudes you're going to be fighting. I don't know if you can make them allies and like turn on the normal people in the galaxy. I think that'd be kind of cool. But for the most part, I think those are kind of the bad guys, as it were. We're going to go over here. We're going to ram this guy. We're going to finish him off really quick. He's dead. Fantastic. Now, there is like a little bit of like an autopilot system, which I have to say is pretty freaking convenient. You basically can click on one random part of the map. You can see right here there's a little autopilot button right here, and it'll basically take you to whatever position you want it to. And the autopilot, for the most part, is rather intelligent. It will avoid obstacles. It'll avoid, you know, the sun, for that matter, of the sector, and not get you brutally killed. Now, from what I heard, there is hiccups. People have seen it just pilot them straight into their deaths. It's not a perfect system. I haven't had any problems with it really at all. Not once has it done anything really all that stupid. And this is kind of how you travel about the game. This is kind of the way you're going to find yourself playing the game most of the time. It's kind of activating your autopilot and just flying about. Yes, I'm being attacked. Yes, I could turn around and attack those pirates, but to be honest with you, I'm faster than them. I don't really need to. Which kind of takes away a little bit of excitement away from the game. You're going to be just activating your autopilot most of the time, just flying past things 90% of the time. Matter of fact, I had an escort mission. I didn't even really do it. I just flew past it and kind of just ended the mission right away. I don't know why I was flying that way instead of this way. Alright. So we just completed a mission. And we're going to go turn that in. Dude, would you mind? No, you will be doing that quite a bit. You're just going to be ramming into stuff. Thank God the shields deflect all that kind of damage, because it's going to happen a lot when you play this game. So again, this is just all. I'm taking steps to join one of the many factions in the game. I completed the quest for Mechanic Sheldon here. I think that was it, right? I was attacked by ships. I got some reward, I got some money, I got some experience, I hit level 24. Well, of course, these head devices guard. What else did you expect? Well, I'm glad it all ended well. Alien transmitters are destroyed and we feel safe and secure again, all thanks to you, my friend. I go on with my experiments without interference now. Here, have a small reward for you. I'll tell Jaredin about you. He'll appreciate your success in this mission. So I've helped 3 people now out of the 4 that I needed to help to join this faction, which is the Freedom faction. Each faction, of course, probably has its own requirements for me to join them, like the Order will probably have me destroying things. These guys have me doing favors for people. And you can join the Fanatics from what I understand. I don't think you can join the Pirates, but I think that's something they have planned to change in this game. So now that we've gotten some quests, we've gotten some experience, we've gotten some levels. I love how they're just like beelining their way straight towards me. I'm also getting missiled by the station. Station, do you freaking mind? Gosh dang it, man. Alright, well, that's fine. Now that we got some levels, we can basically spend some of our skill points. We have 39 here, as you can see, which we can spend on an assortment of many different kinds of things. You can also eventually get access to bigger, better ships as you level up. So at level 30, I'll get access to light cruisers. At level 40, I'm sorry, level 45, I get access to heavy cruisers, bigger, better ships, and you basically can get access to, you know, different kinds of flight maneuvers. This one's diversive movement. This one gives you access to different kinds of weapons. Like, I'm focusing most of my points into energy weapons because that's what I've been mostly using. You can put points in engineering and be like, okay, well, now I'm a better engineer. I can use different kinds of consumables, or, you know, help my grappler out, or become a better miner if I wanted to. Or you can put more in social skills. And you get the basic idea. You can get better skills in general, guys. That kind of covers that. Now let's go ahead and let's just start traveling about the galaxy. I'm gonna go to this one. Let's go here. Let's go this way. Now I'm gonna hit autopilot, and it's gonna start taking me there. Engaged. I don't really have to do much else. I can kind of just sit back, relax, you know, take a drink, and enjoy the game. I like VoidExpanse. I think it's a cool game. But there's a lot of empty space in this game. You find yourself, yes, there's a mega shit ton of pirates. That I will say. I'm surprised pirates haven't taken over the galaxy just because of how many damn pirates there are in this game. It's kind of insane how many pirates there are, actually. There's more pirates than there are good guys. The green dots, I see one green dot on the map right now, and I think it's being attacked. I don't know how these factions are still alive. I was being attacked while I'm talking. That's perfectly fine. That's to be expected when you're using autopilot. I also have it on normal difficulty, to be fair. So basically, I just find there's just be a lot of open space. It's missing bells and whistles, guys. I mean, you got those factions, you have those quests, but there needs to be more to do, which is the best way to describe it. I would like for there to be just random events, more space stuff, less pirates, more just random space stuff. Run into an anomaly, run into a strange alien race which has recently gained the ability to, you know, FTL, whatever. I want more of those random type events that you would see in something like FTL, for instance, or, you know, Mountain Blade, where you would come upon a merchant being attacked and you can help them. I suppose that does happen in this game, but you get the basic idea. I just want to see more random events occurring in this game. Instead of just fighting pirates, because I'm just so tired of fighting freaking pirates, guys. It's fun, and I enjoy it, but it's not necessarily what I want to do in this game. So we're in this new star sector here, and again I'm being attacked by a pirate. Imagine that. I should also probably talk about the danger rating per sector. Now, I mean, the combat's obviously, as you can see, is kind of easy for this sector. Because I'm kind of in the core systems of this particular place. As you get deeper outwards and downwards towards these red sectors, the combat level is going to change. So as you can see, that little sword crossed right there is 41. This one's 83. This one's 100. As you get backwards, though, near the top, it starts getting easier and easier. You can also see the cog is kind of the representation of the technology level of that particular section of space as well. So we're going to... Man, can I not... Please let me just talk and you can just stop attacking me. That would be fantastic. Okay. We're going to hit save and exit here, because there's more I want to show you about this game than just necessarily the core gameplay. Like I said, it's good. The graphics work. The music was it was not bad. The sound effects are pretty spot on. And I didn't have any problem with the controls, other than I found, like I said, aiming to be a giant pain in the ass sometimes. I didn't run into any bugs also while playing the game. The game is very well made, and it does have a lot of replay value. But there's other things to check out here. Like I said, you can kind of create a new galaxy, and then you can also alter the size of that galaxy. And I do actually have two saves I could show you that with, but I kind of want to show you something else really quick here. As you create basically a new galaxy, you'll get access to make a new character, and because there's a little bit of character customization here as well, you can basically kind of pick your avatar as it were. That's how I ended up with Magnum PI there. There's also 8 classes in this game. These 8 classes kind of give you native bonuses to just starting. I was out in the game, like I picked fighter, and I got some extra, benefits to combat. You could say I want to be a trader, and you'll probably get a little extra bonuses to being a trader. You get the basic idea. It doesn't really affect much of anything else other than kind of starting statistics, and then from there everyone's pretty much the exact same for the most part. So this is just you kind of have a basic idea where you're going. It doesn't necessarily define where you're going. How about that? So we'll pick engineer, for instance. We'll hit, actually I kind of like prospector. Because Prospector kind of shows you the difference. You want to create this character? Sure. It's going to randomly generate the universe now, which, by the way, I think I put it on maximum size here. So that'll be good, so I can show you all that and what that looks like. The universe can get rather ridiculously large, which, of course, would increase the longevity of the gameplay, depending on what you plan on doing. If you're planning on, you know, conquering things in factions, I imagine that makes things a lot longer. The tutorials, by the way, in the game is very well done. It does a really good job of explaining everything, and I didn't have any problems kind of picking up the pace of the game, and it does a really good job of teaching you things, which is great because this game is rather complicated, it's rather huge, and not having a appropriate, oh, wow, that's kind of interesting, fanatics and the freedom guys are like right on top of each other. That could lead to some dicey situations, I can imagine. But you can see this is just a humongous galaxy it just generated here. This is probably like double the size of the one I have in my original game. Also, like I mentioned earlier, because I picked the prospector, I have kind of different mining benefits. Like I can see what's inside of asteroids. Let's show that off really quick. I think that's actually one of the cooler things. Here we'll go to Autopilot. Again, I'm not kind of lazy. I don't want to do it myself. Plenty of pirates in the sector again, by the way. I'm so surprised they've not. Autopilot's being derpy. Oh yeah, you can also double tap forwards and kind of like give yourself like a little jump. I don't know what the point of that currently is, other than for combat maybe? Not really sure. It does use energy though, as you can imagine. It probably uses quite a bit of fuel. So as basically as a prospector, I can kind of scan this asteroid and see what's inside of it. That I could not do with my fighter character, which I originally had. It's kind of neat. I enjoy that aspect to it. I hope they diversify the classes a little bit more. You can trade in this game, but to be honest with you, I didn't really find much of a point in the trading. I found it just easier to go kill pirates, take whatever they had, and sell that. That's how I made my money. That's how I made my fortune. But I guess you do have that option available to you. From what I understand, they're probably going to be tweaking the mining system. They're going to be adding a crafting system. They're tweaking everything a little bit more, just to make certain, you know, pursuits a little bit more worth it, to be honest with you. I think that's a good idea because it does need to be a little bit more worth it. It's way just easier to just kill stuff, grab whatever they have, and then sell it, than go mining or, you know, selling of trade routes, as it were. But yeah, they're adding a lot more stuff to this game, guys, in the future. Now this will probably make a little bit more sense to you that you're looking at it too. So like I said, they're going to be adding crafting. They're overhauling the mining system. They're going to add like a drone system, like a follower system, which is going to be cool because I kind of would love to have followers in this game. I'd love to be able to have my own faction in this game, do whatever the hell I want and conquer the galaxy myself. They're going to add more skills, more ships, all that good kind of stuff, guys. One of the big major things here is they're going to have modding. That's kind of what they're hoping for here. And the modding, from what I understand, is quite extensive. So you'll be actually able to kind of create your own version of this game practically with the modding system and change things quite a bit. So that's another exciting thing. If you're a modder out there, you will enjoy that aspect to the game, guys. Like I said, it's a big, expansive game. It just needs those bells and whistles. It needs to fill in that empty space with, you know, more sci-fi stuff is the best way to describe it. Everything works well, everything plays well, it's fun. It just needs more bells and whistles. I think that kind of covers everything I wanted to say about VoidExpanse, guys. So, you know, I just want to say big thanks to the developer for a chance to check out this title. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and share, guys, and I'll keep bringing you awesome indie games, guys. If you really enjoyed this video, maybe consider hitting up that tip jar. If you're feeling generous of heart, all tips go to improving the channel or future giveaways. Till next time, guys, play more indie games.